Hello, hello. Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Today we're going to do a Brita demo, changing the filter. As you can see, it's still green. I'd emptied it out already. But I cheat and put a little note on the top because a lot of people online were saying they've tested it and the damn light turns red a little too soon and they just want to sell filters. And I don't know if that's true, but just as a backup, I've got the date right there written down. Today is 10/2/25. I'm actually on time getting it changed. So what you do, you got your little sticker and you pull this guy out. It's got a control on the bottom to light, use the light. If your light breaks, just put a little piece of tape on top of it. It's all right. Old filter goes in the trash. This comes out. This and this. Let's get a paper towel ready. Oh no, that's too much. This roll's been temperamental. It doesn't tear at all right like it's supposed to. All the perforations, you're just like, really? Yeah. Okay. Now, I was already told don't use hot water on plastic. I got that lecture. For you people that want to know, how do I change the battery on my little light? How do I do that? I want to change the battery. Okay, no more comments on the battery because you don't change the battery. Okay? It's glued shut, it's molded. You don't change the battery. If it dies, put the piece of tape on top or buy. And if it's been several years, plastics aren't meant to last forever. I know you get Tupperware that lasts forever, but you might want to replace your filter after lots of years, okay? Maybe Alexi, I want to ask Alexi. That'll set off all that problem and set yours off and do all that. So we got a little button on here that's got a white and blue filter. The white one's 2 months. The blue one is more. I can't remember now. It's supposed to be 4 or 5. I tried a blue one. It felt like it went off a little too quick. And I was like, this is a lot of money for this blue one when I could be getting the white one. So we went back to white. So, and then I started just doing the tape and the light. If it works, if it ever lights up red, I'll be like, oh, I need to be looking at that tape. I just got masking tape on here right now. But so I still have the little light exposed. If your light gets funky and starts blinking, you can't get it to shut up, put the tape over it. It'll be fine. You got a problem, you wipe it down, let it dry overnight if it's blinking. Maybe it got a little water in the crack in there. Wipe that down, wipe the little sensor down. And just leave it out to dry and put the picture back in the fridge so it'll be cold water. Okay, we'll do that. But we're going to clean it. Got a little soap dispenser, neat little thing on Amazon. Got a little pump button. Let's say who makes it. I like it. Sometimes I give it a drop a little water inside to get it a little waterier so it works a little better. You want to clean it off. And yeah, I did wash my hands before I started this, but since I got a Band-Aid on. Yeah, I like the hot water a little bit. It cuts the soap. Put it back on warm. Just stay there for a second. Try not to get the sensor wet. Do my little clean thing here. Clean that off. Nice and clean. Hey, that almost tore right. Get that handle good. Everybody's been grabbing that handle. The bottom, don't have grit on the bottom in your fridge. Good time to clean the bottom of the fridge where you put your drinks, right? Woo! Oh yeah, that's not too greasy. We're getting that. Get that soap taste out. Some of you might want to add a little salt. We'll get the salt out. Cut the soap. There. Now, clean the bottom off. You can't have that on the... Now the inside doesn't matter because I'll wipe it down, you know. But the inside doesn't matter because we're going to get it wet again, right? This guy's in good shape. Nice and dry. And you're going to get wet again, but I'll do the outside. It's good. Around the edges. Woo! Fits like a glove. That's all my junk. All right, I got to open our Brita. Should have cut this sucker open before I got started. We got scissors. Guys, clean up your mess. Don't leave the kitchen a mess. There you go. Now you're probably wondering, why is this pot out, Scott? Well, the wife's not here right now. And I cleaned the pot. I cooked her some eggs and me some eggs. And I cleaned it. And I just got it air drying a little bit. I wiped the bottom off a little. And it's been air drying. It'll be fine. And it'll be ready to put away. And I'll have done my job. We got some things air drying here and a dishwasher full that I get to empty out in a little bit. Cold water, 15 seconds. Let's get it in there. Get that little grit and charcoal out of there. That'll loosen it up. Cold to warm. That's good. Just drops in. Drops right in there. See? No problem. Now, if you got a filter you're changing, on the white, it says to hold it down about 5 seconds. Usually blinks red and green and all this. See, I do it about 10 seconds, let it blink, blink. There, it stopped blinking. So that should work good. So that's ready to go again for another 2 months, I hope. And we'll touch that up. Get rid of that guy. You can go there. Get that nice and dry. And I just happen to have one already made up. I was prepared. I am that much prepared. 2 months. Okay? And you can see. Now, I usually leave this off when I'm filling 3 times. You want cool to warm water. Cool's fine. You have to do it 3 times. Now, I'm not going to do it 3 times on video because that'd be boring. But I got it pretty full, you can see. I'll tilt it a little too far. Pretty full, and it'll fill up to about here. So I'll have to fill it again to get it to fill up to about there. That'll be one time. Then you dump it out. If you got some plants you want to water, now would be a good time to do it. So you let that drain, and it slowly starts getting the filter. No, Brita does not filter out salt, so salt water. And I'm on a low salt thing, so we have salt for water softener. You know, the water softener in the house is salt. And I think the other kind they have is a big bag of potassium stuff. And I'm definitely not supposed to have potassium. I've noticed it at the water bottles, like at Burger King, I get a water bottle, I'm drinking it, oh, it's cool. Go to get the Dasani drinks at McDonald's, it says potassium chloride in the water. I was like, great, great. So some use salt, some use potassium. We've got salt here, so I can't use potassium, period. And there's salt, and there's a guy that's an expert on kidney health and different things, and he talked about the same thing that I'd already figured out. I said, wait, we're using salt to filter and soften the water and make the pipes better and everything run better and stuff, and to make lather soap up better with soft water here in Florida. Should I be drinking all this? And I did some research, and I was like, no. And then the guy on the kidney thing said he keeps real particular. Everything he eats is good for his kidneys as best possible, and he keeps every measurement for the doctors. And the doctor says, well, you're a little high. And he's like, how am I high? You're 200 milligrams high. And he got tested, and he's like, how could I be high? And they figured out the salt water filter system. So I called the people that put our filter in, and I said, does the salt water thing actually go to the outside the house, the spigot? And they were like, no, it shouldn't do that. It should have a line that goes to the house and goes into the house. But outside the house, there's no point of softening the water, right? So, and it did it's kind of Florida tasting anyway. So, so I got another filter. And this little guy is my filter. It's a press the filter for 2 seconds for the white one and 6 seconds for the blue one. And I've still got a note on here for 1022. I got to change it. But I got my own little filter at Publix, a different color, so I'd know it. And it's a little smaller. It's a good little filter. I got an old milk jug, and I write the date down, 8/25. So in August 25, I emptied this milk and rinsed it out good. I use it, and as I rotate out a couple jugs, the older jugs get rotated out and either put in recycle, or I keep 1 or 2 jugs for watering plants or whatever little projects I could keep them on. But this, I peeled the labels off, and I got 8/25, and I got water. And I just dump water from the spigot, which doesn't have the salt mixed in it. My wife's like, really? You're getting it out of the spigot? I said, yep. I give it, plus I water your plant when I'm doing it, because I fill it real fast up and it overflows. And that way, if there's any little buggies in the spigot, they get out, and then I water her plant. She has a plant in a big pot out front. I get that out of the way. And then I just flip my little top, pour my water in, and boom, good. And I got my little bike riding water bottle here from Gatorade, and I'll pour that. And I don't mind the room temperature water. My wife's like, we got room on the fridge for your water. I said, no, room temperature's fine. I don't mind it. It's cool because of the cool air conditioning compared to riding the bike. And if I want it colder, I'll put it in the freezer right before I go, and it'll get real cold then. Or the water bottle is. So this is drained. You put your little thing on there. You do it 3 times. So you're going to do it. You're going to fill this white thing up. You're going to fill this white thing up twice to get one of these full. Drain it out. Do it again, drain it out. Because you got a little bit of charcoal-y looking stuff. That's normal. 3rd time, drain it out. That's good. If there's a touch left in the 3rd time, after that, you do it. The 4th time is when you start drinking. And even if there's a touch, you'll live. So that's the deal. And when it drains, a little green light will come on, and you're good to go. See, I've got half. So I've got to do it again for my 1st time. Fill it up. There. Keep you on the towels. All righty. So that's about all there is to it. Don't use the hot water on plastic. Plastics don't last forever, ever. Because when we moved, we replaced this pitcher with the old pitcher with a new pitcher. My wife said, we've had that thing forever. And we tossed it, and that was it. That was it for it. And there was an older one that had a little slot where this thing slides in. It had a little groove in it. You had to get it to groove just right. Now they redesigned the filter so it just falls in any old way, which is cool. I like that. And this one's, it still uses the white filter. I still like it. This is good. It does the job. And it can go in the fridge too. You know, if you got someone that's on a low salt diet and you use water softener that's salt, you can technically use the spigot outside unless it's winter or something. And you're like, or you can buy those big jugs, you know, make sure they're filtered. And you're like, yeah, but, and the blue ones are supposed to be filtering a little bit more stuff, more chlorine and more stuff. So it depends on what your need is. Read what the blue one does, read what the other one does, but neither one of them, I think, technically does salt. So you got to deal with your own salt thing and check. I don't know about those giant jug things I see at Publix. I see people carrying them out going, I hope that's just not filtered water. Because you know what I mean. It's just filtered. Like mine's filtered. We got a refrigerator. We did not buy this time the filter on the outside because it takes up space. So I've got lots of space inside this filter, this guy, an LG, and it has the pull open bottom drawer. And that's what my wife wanted, the bottom drawer to pull open. It has a second drawer that pulls out near the top, but it's got big shelving on the inside, big, massive guys. And we don't have it. We have a water dispenser. There's a little one right here, a little baby one right here. That's got to have a filter change one day. But we got so tired of the old fridge that wasn't that old. It was a Samsung. But you couldn't get a hold of the filter. I mean, you could get it online and get it for like big, I can't remember how much it cost, $30 or something. We'd go to Lowe's and Home Depot, and they'd say, I said, well, you guys sell Samsung. I mean, where's the filter to the one we have? Well, they've changed it. Because engineers always change it. They can make that filter the same over. Brita does it. Same filter over and over and over. See, there we are. It's all pretty much drained out. We got to about here. We got it pretty good, right? But they keep redesigning the filter, and you see all these different filter systems. You're like, idiots, make one filter so we can start using this thing. And I couldn't find the filter. And I'm just like, I was so frustrated. We found generic filters that are supposed to work, but they were kind of expensive. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting tired of looking for these things because we go one time they're there, one time they're not there. And I'm like, you have to order online for big bucks. I said, get a Brita. Just get a Brita and you're done with the stupid filter. And so when we bought the fridge and we moved, so we left the old fridge. And we said, you know what? We don't need a water dispenser. It had it on the side built in. Nice. My wife uses it sometimes. But it's, quick cold water. You just use it. But it takes up space, a little ice maker, crushed ice, all that good stuff. We got ice down there. If we need ice, it automatically makes it. And then she has a little scoop in there, and she'll scoop it out and put it in her iced coffee when she's heading out the door. And we found the K-Cup thing has a button for ice drinks. You hit the ice drink button. You can't do strong and ice drink. It's just ice drink. Put about 3/4 full of ice in the cup, and you hit the ice drink. And we were there the first time we did it to make sure it didn't overflow. You're sitting there waiting to see if something happens. You have to turn it off or something. But about 3/4 of ice, and she put her creamer in there, and little dashes of cinnamon. And that's what she likes, 2 shakes of cinnamon in the thing. And it filled up, and it did all right. It didn't overflow. It melted the ice as it went in. And she mixed it up, and she said, this is pretty good. I was like, okay, well, a good little K-Cup thing. We had the other coffee maker. What's the one? Nespresso, and it made better coffee. It made more of a mess because it spun around and left gritties everywhere, and then it would dispose of its own little cartridge, and that would pile up with drinks and what coffee gook you had to clean out and stuff like that. And we finally got rid of it. Just it made better coffee. Yes, it tasted better, but if you just want something quick and you got to go, K-Cup it. You want something really good, spend $100 at Starbucks or Dunkin' or something like that. You want something pretty good, spend less money at on the go at the drive-through at McDonald's or Burger King or someplace. That's the deal. But yeah, we did good. That's the first one. Hold this down. Don't let it fall out in the sink. That's the first one. Wasn't this fun? And then you do it again. So like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot with the channel. All right, that's the first one. And share the video with friends. They have a little share. Usually with an iPhone, you'll see a little box with a little arrow sticking out of it, and you can hit it and share it on. You can share it to a message. You can share it through different things. And subscribe. It lets YouTube know you appreciate the content. You really appreciate what I did for you with the Brita, and it lets YouTube recommend this video to more people. Okay, that's the deal. So